Let me explain. Let me explain something. Check this out.
You've got to be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change.
Check this out.
Happy Friday, sir. Everybody here. We do also have Misam, our founder, is on the couch, is listening. Not a little bit of a lurker at this point, but good to see you all and happy Friday. Welcome to NumisMeeting 8. How are you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing good, dude. It's TGIF, just like every week.
TGIF, yes, sir. So I thought we'd kick things off with a little bit of market commentary, as we usually do. Mr. Pappy, I should say, is usually so good with the market commentary. He's a little bit down for the count. He's caught the Rona. So, if he does end up joining in a bit, maybe we can get his insights there. But, market's been making some really interesting moves. We're looking at regaining some key levels with Bitcoin. Meanwhile, we're seeing a pretty hard rejection on the DXY, the dollar index. And, those usually move kind of inverse to each other, right? Bitcoin usually moves inverse to the dollar index, and the dollar index also moves inverse to equities. So that also means that Bitcoin is still correlated with equities, right? But today we're seeing a massive pump overnight that still continues. We're up. What is it? I don't have a chart in front of me, but somewhere in the 10% region, which is really interesting. And ETH is benefiting from that as well. We're seeing a good move on the ETH price. And that also means, why don't I just pull up a chart real quick? Bitcoin is overperforming. Bitcoin's up about 10% right now. But ETH is only up just shy of, just about 4.5%, right? And what's great about that is now we're up about 3.5%, right? So it's really good to see the markets kind of, respecting various support levels. Is the bottom in? Who knows, right? I think that's the big question for everybody. But what's going to be really interesting to watch is whether or not we can retake a key indicator on a key level, I should say, on BTC, which is the 200-day moving average, right? And last I checked, we weren't quite there yet, but we were on a 200 MA. We did retake the 200 MA on the hourlies. But, we like to look at things in a little bit of bigger picture scenario, a little bit more macro zoomed out. And from that perspective, looking at the daily candles is a little bit more reliable for, analyzing and forecasting macro conditions. So, yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. Are you seeing anything out there in the market, Aaron, that you want to talk about?
Honestly, I was pretty surprised. I didn't know where the bump came from. You know what I mean? But as far as BTC, that's a good sign for everything. If they're going to have a little rally, there's a good chance for some alts to pump. So I think across the board, there's some good opportunity for whatever people are, whatever people have their bags in right now. But probably, yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing that it's going to be a big pump. You know what I mean? Like this is just a little tease. But maybe we'll get a little bit of time out of it. Maybe we'll get a couple of weeks or something instead of just a few days before it kind of comes back down. So yeah, we'll see how sustainable it is.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It's sustainable price action, and it's looking a little unsustainable right now. And
Exactly.
The move is just too big, too fast. But that doesn't mean it can't keep going. But if they were me, if you're a hodler, cool, right? You're sitting tight, you're waiting, you're good. But if you are a trader, right, I would buckle up for some continued volatility, and prep for any move to the downside. Definitely manage your risk. Make sure use your stop losses. Make sure whether you're going to get, if you get liquidated or if you're looking to, do a smaller non-leveraged scalp play, make sure you use your stop losses, right? Make sure you set your take profits, and just farm that volatility. That would be my advice. But you know, I've done my best to channel Mr. Pappy. He's really the market technician, and he's got the greatest commentary on market updates. I just, hopefully, excuse me, hopefully he doesn't listen to this recording and shake his head. So I hope I did him proud, and I hope I didn't embarrass him too much on that one.
That's all right. He'll shake his head at both of us. We'll be in the doghouse together.
Sure. Okay. You and me. You and me. Great. Okay. So why don't we just kind of like move on to some quick community updates? We do have some campaigns ongoing. I'll throw it over to you, Aaron. Do you want to talk about a little bit of what's going on in the community and what we've seen from a growth and promotional perspective?
Yeah, we actually have a really big month. So guys, we're doing a poker tournament this upcoming week. Reading the final details of that out to you guys, but it has been announced, and that's always exciting because ultimately, if you want to connect with people in the space, the best way to do that is just to come at it from a really casual perspective. So you get to sit around, hang out, win some money. It's gonna be like $500 in NUME prizes, so that's gonna be a pretty spicy one. And I think Poker Now actually upped their tournament players from 200 to 300. So let's go with 300, and we'll see what we can do. We've got a lot of AMAs this month as well, and but kind of the icing on the cake, we've got this Cryptopia event, which could either turn out to be really great or turn out to be run of the mill. But either way, I got to admit, like there's some cool speakers that are going to be there aside from our founder. I mean, obviously that's the best. Like we're not gonna lie, Misam's going to be the best there. But hey, get a little get a little bump from sitting on some DeFi panel with a bunch of other people, prestigious people in the field is great. It's great exposure, no matter what. So that's going to be really exciting. Hope Misam, you've been preparing your keynote speech. If there's anybody that can spread the vision of this project and really connect it to people, as he likes to say, make the light bulb go off, it's Misam. He's a great guy.
Yeah, very true. Definitely excited, and the topic of the keynote is definitely going to be focused around DeFi, right? Because that is what we do, and that is what we know. And I think when Misam does get on that keynote stage, I think it'd be great to kind of get everybody else listening to this call, whether you're live or you're listening to the recording, or you're just in our Discord and Telegram. It'd be great to get folks to join and watch. Let's watch our founder. Let's watch him give a little bit of insight into the DeFi ecosystem and plug NumisMe a little bit. Kind of break down the vision and kind of what we're trying to do here at NumisMe. So maybe Aaron, we should share that link out. I think it's like a LinkedIn registration link or something like that. Can we share that on Discord and Telegram?
What I could do is I could go get the actual the setup stream that's like ready to go live. Set notifications for it. I can get that up now that they've narrowed it down to the 13th, and that's going to be September 13th, guys. We're going to have the poker tournament the day before on the 12th. So we have an AMA at the same day as Cryptopia too, a little later in the day. This is nonstop this month.
Yeah, we're back in action, right? We want to make sure that we support the momentum, right? We want to make sure that, and we happen to just time it like really well now that we're in a bit of a bull run. Maybe not a full on run, but we're having some good price action. So it's going to be great to support that momentum with all the AMAs, with Cryptopia, with we're about to light up some influencer videos and actually go spend some bigger marketing dollars, which is a moment that we've been waiting for. So to that point, we do have an AMA later today, right? In a couple hours.
Yeah, it's actually going to be at 3 p.m. Our time, but yeah, it's going to be 10 p.m. UTC.
10 p.m. UTC. Awesome. So now that we're talking about things that we're going to be marketing against, maybe we can move a little bit into project updates. So the biggest project update that we have right now is regarding our revenue share. And we've been talking about revenue share for a minute, and we've been prepping to go live, and we are just at the cusp, right? We're putting the final finishing touches on some of our tracking bots. It is something that we do need to be able to display certain data on the app. And as soon as we validate the testing on those bots, they are deployed already. As soon as we validate testing, we'll push it live on the UI, and we'll start sharing our Dune tracking dashboard so everybody can kind of start to see the revenue that they'll be splitting, how that's coming in. And then we will be fully live with revenue share. And just to kind of recap, what is revenue share, right? We talk about revenue share, we talk about revenue, the fact that the protocol is focused on sustainability, and the way to sustainability is to focus on revenue, right? But also healthy tokenomics, right? Our hybrid emissions model that incentivizes folks to stake their NUME to earn ETH. And that's what we're talking about with the revenue share, right? The staking NUME, right, gets the staker a piece of our revenue, right? You stake the NUME, and we will distribute a portion of our revenue as ETH right back to the person that staked NUME. So what that kind of represents is, at the simplest, highest level, it's stake NUME to earn ETH, right? But what that really means is all stakers are participating in the project and helping to strengthen the project. The more NUME that we stake, right, the more we protect the price of NUME, right? The more we take NUME off the open market, and that helps not only stabilize price, but that helps support upward price movement, right? So, for folks that believe in the project, that is the way to go, right? You want to stake your NUME, you'll earn ETH. That's a nice little benefit, but you're also helping strengthen the project. You're helping protect the value of the token, right? And so the way we do that is we take the revenue, basically the money that we earn, right, off our performance fee from Vault, TVL, from the deposits in our Vault, right? Those deposits earn a certain amount of yield, and that's what we give back. That's the yield we're generating for everybody, right? The strategy APR, and we take 20% of the yield, not of the deposits, but the yield that the deposits generate, and we capture that as revenue in the protocol. So what we'll be doing is taking 20% of protocol revenue and sharing that with everybody that stakes NUME, right? And so what that means for a NUME staker is, instead of you taking your NUME rewards from perhaps your vault or from being a liquidity provider, rather than selling that NUME, all those NUME rewards at one moment in time to get ETH, for example, right? You might sell your NUME for ETH. You could do that, sure, and you would realize the return in that one moment of time at whatever price NUME is at that one moment in time. But if you stake NUME, you'll earn ETH, and we'll be distributing the ETH every 2 weeks. So think about that for a second. Even if you earn less ETH than every 2 weeks than you would have by selling a chunk of your NUME rewards, it only takes a few payouts for you to get back to what you would have made by selling on the open market. And after that, it's pure profit, right? So the more NUME you stake, you can compound your rewards. What that means is you can keep on claiming your rewards and staking it. The more you stake, the more ETH you earn over time, right? So it's a passive income stream that essentially grows over time versus taking your NUME rewards and selling them for that one-time profit, right? So that is something we're super excited about. That's what I wanted to make sure everybody knew is coming real soon, right? We're looking at a launch window next week on that one, which will coincide really well with all the different AMAs, the poker tournament, the Cryptopia conference, all these different things. It's going to be a nice little way for us to come out of the gate and show everybody kind of the value of our hybrid emissions model, the value of being able to stake your NUME to earn ETH. Right. So, okay. So that's the update on that side. We do have our revenue share going live like imminently. So please do stay tuned. You know, we'll definitely be announcing it everywhere: Twitter, Discord, Telegram. But if you want the most real-timey updates, you'll probably want to be keeping an eye in our Discord or our Telegram. That's probably where everybody's going to get the first heads up. But it's not like there's a rush, right? The way we do this is every 2 weeks we will distribute the rewards. You'll just go into the UI, into the staking tab, and you'll click claim. You'll just claim your ETH, right? There's no need to rush to go get it, because what's yours is your share of that ETH will always be sitting there. Nobody else can go take it before you. It's always going to be there waiting for you, right? But if you miss that 2-week window, you're going to have to do multiple transactions. Every 2 weeks represents a distinct and separate claim transaction, okay? So just keep that in mind, y'all. If you want to keep stacking your earnings and claim them all later down the line, that's fine. Just know that, you know, you'll be paying for multiple transactions, which means multiple gas fees, right? So yeah, so that's revenue share, everybody. The next little bit of a project update is we are really happy with the progress we're making on PayMe, right? That is our self-repaying loan product. And that is also something we've been talking about for a minute, right? So the last time we talked about it, we mentioned that hey, we've just going into the final phases of testing, and part of the testing process for us includes a little bit of product validation, right? Which means we go and user test it, we get some feedback, and we want to make sure that the user experience is at least at par, if not better than what we've done in the past, right? So the update here is we are getting some feedback on PayMe currently that it is a little bit of a confusing experience. The UI is partially to blame, but the way that we talk about it, the words that we use, seems to also be a little bit confusing, right? So we are going to be delaying the launch of our PayMe self-repaying loans product. I see that as a good thing, because that gives us a chance to fix that user experience, right? We're going to fix the design, change the way it looks, definitely change the words we use, definitely change the layout, right? We're kind of like rehaul the front end to make sure that it is a user experience that not only we're happy with, but that all the users that we've tested it on, that they are happy with it, that they think it looks good, but most importantly, that they think that it makes sense, right? They have to be able to use it effectively. If anybody goes into the product and they have any confusion, right, that is a point when we could lose them as a potential user, right? That little bit of friction. So we're trying to remove that friction. So we're going to take a little bit of time. But in the meanwhile, right, we have our revenue share coming online. We're just about ready. We do have, we're working with our audit firm for our LP double up smart contract. We're working with them to remove one of the findings, which have been addressed, one of the low severity findings. And we don't agree with 2 of the other findings that they listed. So we are trying to ask them to remove those. So as soon as we go deploy the patched contract, we'll get an updated audit report. And that's something else that we can talk about, right? And that's something else we can market against. So the delay of PayMe, the PayMe self-repaying loan product, it's not like we're losing anything. It's just giving us an opportunity to focus our marketing dollars on a smaller mix of products, right? Just to focus it on our core DeFi products, which is our vaults, our NUME staking to earn ETH, and our LP double up program that allows you to basically double your LP position for free. Because we give you bring us the ETH and we give you the NUME, right, for free to match up. And so you can earn your NUME rewards for providing liquidity as a liquidity provider at double the rate that you would have if you didn't use the LP Double Up program, right? And all of that wrapped up in the ability to earn ETH by staking NUME. So we have a lot of things we want to talk about. We have a lot of different audiences we're going to get in front of. So this is an opportunity for us to really focus our messaging, focus our marketing dollars, and make sure that we can generate the most awareness per dollar versus spreading it out over too many products, right? Too many messages, too many audiences. So, yeah, so that pretty much does it from a.
I would like to say, like, as far as the significance of getting that, that main DeFi product, the ability to earn ETH off of your stake NUME, this is essentially the last piece of the puzzle that will help close the loop on our compounding capabilities and give you guys the power to, seek out your maximum reward capabilities. But that also inherently and importantly, I mean, that slows down or stops a lot of the sell pressure that we've all been withstanding for the past couple of months, because with all the memes that we post in chat, it's just, instead of selling your NUME to earn ETH, stake your NUME to earn ETH. And as soon as that is out and about, I think we're going to see a lot less sell pressure, because ultimately people would love to start stacking essentially dividends of one of the most stable, safe, and utilized, crypto in all the blockchain space. So I mean, it's a no-brainer, 100%.
Yeah, it is, and I really, really proud of the way, pat ourselves on the back, sure, but I think it's really cool that we have architected this model, right, between our tokenomics, our hybrid emissions model, and just the way that our reflections tax works. That is making us very much sell resistant. Not only are we neutrally tracking ETH, but we are able to fend off pretty much all the small little bits of selling that we're seeing. And that's due to the fact, well, that's due to multiple things, right? But that is due to the fact that, we are sending 1% of our reflections tax into the LP, right? And then we burn the LP token. So that liquidity is there forever. Nobody can touch it. We can't even extract that liquidity, right? And the way that happens is we use 1% tax. We carve off half of that, which the 1% tax for the LP comes to us in ETH. We carve off half of that and we go buy NUME with it, right? And that represents an organic buyback on the open market. So that represents price support. That is what makes us sell resistant, right? We do fight off sell pressure pretty well, right? The one thing we can't fight off is a dip in the price of ETH, because we do track ETH, right? So, in that kind of an environment, in a bear market, it's proving to be a really great model. It's proving to be a fairly stable investment, and that's something that I think is more and more people are kind of like opening their eyes to, right? We have been increasing our holder base. We are above 300 now. Our kind of our near-term target is to get to 500. Our midterm target is to get over 1,000 to 1,500, and that once we get to that size of holder base, it allows us to do a lot of cool little things. One of which is to get our token logo listed on Uniswap, right? So we're really looking forward to that, and we think that this marketing push and whether it's all the AMAs or the influencers and what have you, we're really looking forward to seeing how that moves the needle for us with respect to not just how many NUME holders we were able to generate, but also how much TVL we're able to capture, how much vault deposits we're able to amass, right? Because again, at the end of the day, that's where the bulk of our revenue is coming from, is through our TVL. And just to be clear, as long as we do have our reflections taxes live, we are considering that as revenue, right? So we will be sharing our tax revenue as well. right? At some point in time, we'll have enough TVL where we're net revenue positive, and we'll just be sharing just straight out of the revenue generated off our vaults. But until then, right, we'll be sharing our tax revenue as well. So it's kind of like we're generating revenue through multiple streams, and then we're sharing that to everybody. So I think that's really cool too. But yeah, it's great to see you, Mr. Pappy. He is online. Hopefully you're feeling well, sir. Totally understand if you're not able to speak. I know you've been trying to get your voice back. But yeah, it's good to see you on the spaces, sir.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Yeah, I am getting my voice back. It's been a bumpy week, so always happy to hang out here, see everyone, and get some good community updates.
Yeah,
You missed
right on.
you missed our terrible TA, man. It was wonderful.
We did a little market update. I did my best to channel Mr. Pappy, but you know, hopefully it's not too cringy when you listen to it later.
Yeah, we use 0 blockchain metrics. You're going to be so happy.
I can't wait to hear it, guys.
But you are sounding better. So on the next Numis meeting, definitely looking forward to getting the real market update back into action on our Numis meetings.
Sure.
But yeah, is there anything else that we wanted to cover from a community perspective?
Well,
We'll cover that.
If you guys didn't mention it, the movie nights we're putting together, if you have a favorite movie, or if you're in a country that can't get access to certain movies, maybe on your Netflix or something, let us know. We'll stream it. So we're putting together a list now.
That's awesome. Can't wait. I got my popcorn ready. I actually literally ordered some microwave popcorn from Amazon just not last night, but the night before. So I'm getting ready for movie night. Great. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Peppy.
Nice. Getting that good old Bezos corn, bro.
Bezos corn.
I don't know. So should we go ahead and just move on, see if anybody has any questions?
Yeah, let's go on to the Q&A. I know Young Saver's been patiently waiting since we kicked this thing off. Let me give him...
First come, first serve.
First come, first serve. There you go, sir. You now have speaker rights. You just have to unmute your mic. How's it going? Oh, there was an error adding him as speaker. Okay, you can now speak, sir, if you unmute your mic. Or maybe not. Twitter's having some issues adding as a speaker. Let me see if I can add you as a co-host real quick. Okay, I sent you a couple different invites, Young Savior, if you could check your account. And while we wait for that request to go through for Young Savior, I think we do have another request from Spark. So why don't I try this again? Come on, Twitter. Let's work.
Come on, Twitter. Be a pal. Be a guy. Be a friend.
We'll see. We'll see. Oh, there we go. Okay, Spark, looks like you do have speaker rights. You just need to unmute your mic.
Okay. Thank you very much for this privilege. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for stepping up to the stage.
Yeah. Thanks. It's quite awesome. So my question is still about the staking. So does the amount of ETH within depend on the particular amount of NumisMe we stake, or does the percentage of this earning, like, is it fixed, like everybody must earn 50%, or it differs based on the number of stake we do?
That's a great question. Thank you. And actually, you know what? Going forward, I'm going to definitely make sure to try to remember to talk about this, you know, to be able to answer this question ahead of time so nobody has this question going forward. But yes, great question. How how do we determine how much ETH you earn when you stake NUME? That is the question. So the answer is, it depends on, yes, how many NUME you stake, but it also depends on how long you stake it for, right? So if you go into our staking UI, you go into our staking tab on our app at app.numisme.io, what you'll see is you can select the amount of NUME, and the best way to do it is just to click max and just do all of it, right? Just click max, but then you'll also see an option with a little slider that allows you to change how long you're staking for, right? And those two things is what determines how much revenue you're going to get out of the revenue share pie. It's going to determine how big of a slice you get, right? And the easiest way to look at it, the easiest way to understand kind of like what your share, how big your slice of the pie is to look at your voting power, right? Because the voting power, which allows you to vote for which vault you want to drive extra rewards to, that same voting power is how we calculate how much ETH you get for the revenue share. Does that make sense? I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that's quite cool. And maybe if I have some other question, I'll just raise my hand.
Yeah. Okay. So then we'll just keep you on as a speaker, and yeah, please do raise your hand. But I think, yeah. Oh, great, young Savior. It looks like you got the speaker rights going. You just need to unmute your mic, and yeah, thanks for stepping up to the stage.
I've been getting logs from my net. I think maybe it's my network or it's from Twitter Space. So thank you for bringing me on, and I really love your project. I wish you success. So my question is just concerning the POS that you are on. Now that we are seeing that Ethereum Meg is upcoming, so what hope there will not be any challenges concerning your project on this aspect.
Yeah, so the update on the app, on the integration with our retail partners, that is still ongoing. So the app is still in development. It is a complicated product, right? It's complicated from both a technical perspective on building the app itself, but it's even more complicated. It's more complex navigating the compliance environment, but also the vendors that we're using. So it is taking time. We don't have a hard update other than the app and our partner conversations and our vendor negotiations. Those are all still in play and those are still ongoing. But I do have an update in that we are considering a non-US pilot market launch. So that means that we may actually launch a pilot version of this program, the digitization of your change, your physical change at the point of sale, at the POS, right? We're considering launching in another market. One of the things that we're looking at is just the time to get to market. And in the US, like I mentioned, it's not just a complex product to build from a technical perspective, but it is a complex environment to launch in, right? And that makes it take longer. And so we've been hearing feedback that everybody is interested in the app and we want to get it to you. And we do believe that one way to get it to market faster, get it to you guys all faster, is to explore a different launch market. And we're not ready to really talk about that. I kind of gave a little bit of alpha on an AMA yesterday. So, you guys make sure to tune into the AMA. Sometimes I slip up and give some alpha. So, but I'm not gonna reiterate that little bit of alpha here. But we are, yeah, pretty juicy. But we are, yes, that is an update. We are working on it and we are looking at options to launch quicker, which means that we are considering a non-US launch market. I hope that answers your question there. Oh, I think we actually lost him.
Sorry about the question. What it meant was that since you actually have your project is somehow attached to Ethereum, if Ethereum is actually moving from proof of work to proof of stake, would it have any effect on the project? That was what it meant.
Oh, that's okay. That's oh, I see. Okay, sorry about that. I completely misunderstood the question. That's a great question too. No, the simple answer is no, right? The reason that it's taken so long, and I don't want to speak on behalf of the Ethereum Foundation or the core team there, but you know, they wanted to make sure that the transition was smooth and that it didn't impact any current holders or current projects. And so part of the reason, you know, it's called the merge instead of an actual fork, right, is that all the functionality will be preserved, right? The impact to us, because we are an Ethereum project, will be zero. If anything, the impact will be a net positive because it may bring transaction fees down a bit, and it may increase transaction speed a little bit. But really, we're expecting that just by the nature of moving to the proof of stake model, it is going to benefit the price of ETH, right? It will make it a bit more deflationary or less inflationary, I should say. And that should help the price of ETH, which will help the price of NUME, right? Because we do track ETH pretty well. So yeah, we only see positives. There are no negative effects, negative impact from the merge.
All right, I think that's pretty cool.
We think it's pretty cool too. So thank you. But yeah, no, thanks for the comments. Thanks for the questions. I think Rick, did you had your hand up before? Did you still have a question or a comment? I'll send you speaker rights anyway if you do have that question. You may be the last one, so we'll give you a couple seconds here. Okay. All right. Well, I think that does it, right? I think it's been a really good NUMIS meeting. NUMIS meeting 8. We're already on number 8, which is great. Just remember, everyone, the launch of Revenue Share is imminent, and just after that will be the public launch of our LP Double Up program. So we're moving out of beta. There will be no more whitelist, which means anybody can go into the program without having to apply and get approved and get onboarded. We're just going to open the gates to everybody, right? But okay, Rick, yeah, you came up as a speaker. Did you have a question, sir?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, it's such a great opportunity to be in this space. This is a very, very nice project. Okay, actually, my question is, I wanted to know about the main goal of this project, and I actually wanted to know what is your focus right now on this project.
Yes, great. Thank you for that question. And thank you for those kind words where we tend to agree. But the main goal, so let's talk about main goal. The larger version of that, the largest version of that is our big vision, right? So our biggest goal is to be able to move on board, right? True retail. We're not talking like DeFi retail or crypto retail. We're talking about mass consumer adoption of crypto, right? So our highest goal is to get the mobile app out there, is to use the digitization of your physical change as a means to onboard anybody into crypto. And really what we're talking about is onboard them into the NUME token and offer them DeFi savings accounts, right? Be able to give them the similar, I should say, yield, similar interest rates that you see in DeFi, that you see in our vaults, be able to give them that opportunity in a really easy to understand and simple and seamless app. And that's our vision, right? That is our end goal, right? But for now, what are we focused on? Right now, we're focused on building to that goal. And the way we build to that goal is it's like building a house, right? First, you need to grade the ground. You need to make sure it's level. Then you do what? Then you build a foundation. And then once the foundation is set, you start building the house, right? So for us, that analogy is kind of like, we're kind of building the house, right? That's the mobile app as the house. And we're building it in the background. Meanwhile, we've already prepped the land, right? And we are now building the foundation. The foundation is our yield engine. The foundation is all our core DeFi products that will enable us to deliver the yield that folks in DeFi are used to seeing, but be able to give that to just the mass consumer, the folks that have never heard of DeFi, decentralized finance, or have barely even heard of crypto and maybe don't even hold crypto, right? Those are the folks who are trying to open up these new financial products too, because at the end of the day, the mission that we're on is to build towards a financial system, build financial products that are more accessible, right? That are more just, and certainly, hey, generate more yield for you, generate more money for you, right? So right now we're focused on building our core DeFi products, and we're focused on generating awareness and capturing users on our core DeFi products, and get ready to go even bigger, right? Once that mobile app comes online, right? And again, just to reiterate, we are looking at ways to get the mobile app out sooner, and that is the reason why we are exploring other launch markets outside of the US. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. That's a very, very great answer. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you for the kind words, and thank you for the question. I think Spark, do you have another question there? Feel free to unmute your mic. Yeah.
It's more of a question and then some kind of suggestion, because I noticed that for the past few days you guys have actually been strong on marketing. So I noticed you've not been doing text EMA. So I don't know if that will be possible, because I know a lot of groups that does this text EMA. I think up to 500 of them. I have them right now on my Telegram. So I think that would also help in the marketing, because you don't get to see a lot of communities have this voice EMA. You could also do text EMA. I don't know if that's possible.
Definitely is possible, and I would suggest, maybe you can coordinate with Aaron and Mr. Pappy in Telegram. We'd love to see what projects you're looking at that do the text AMAs. To be honest, voice AMAs are a lot easier for us because we don't have to type everything furiously. And we do have a lot to talk about, right? Because we talk about the simple, seamless mass consumer adoption through the mobile app and all the things that we talk about with the mobile app. But then we have what we're talking about today, which is all our DeFi products. And then within our DeFi products, we talk about vaults, rewards, staking, LP double up, our revenue share. It's so much to talk about. And each one of those things that I just listed is kind of like a conversation on its own. It's so much easier for us to do it over voice. But we're certainly open to it. We've done it in the past, and they've gone really well. We've been really looking at voice AMAs recently, but we've done them in the past, and we'd love to do them in the future. So if you have any leads for us, yeah, please do. Let one of the community team know, whether it's Mr. Pappy or Aaron. We can coordinate that, and if it does make sense and the community is big enough and the cost makes sense for us, yeah, we'd be more than happy to continue that conversation with you.
Oh, all right. And I also noticed that crypto miners, this community, they do have voice, Telegram, AMA, and also Twitter AMA. So I think it would be nice if you could connect to them, or I could simply connect you to them, because I know most of the admins there.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. Yeah, thank you. We appreciate the help there, and yeah, we would appreciate getting connected to them for sure. All right. Well, thank you for the questions, everyone. It looks like we don't have any more, so I think that's a wrap, gentlemen. All right.
Yep.
Well,
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Well, thank you, everyone that's joining live. Appreciate you participating in the spaces. For everybody that's listening to the recording, thank you for listening to the recording. And everyone have a happy Friday. Have a great weekend.